Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to this channel. It's another day. We continue reviewing the August 2024 BDA, the questions that were done. And if you are new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing. Yeah, consider subscribing so that you can be able to reach many. And again, to note that September intake is ongoing. Yeah, September intake is ongoing. I will leave our contacts in the description so that you can reach us and you can enroll and learn with the best. So back to the question. Today we shall be tackling question number 25. Question number 25 was under the section 2. Yeah, section 2 had section 3 had two questions, question number 24 and question number 25. So these were optional questions. You either choose question 24 or question 25. Question 24 was dealing with audit schedule, and question number 25 was dealing with formulas and functions. Specifically, the Vlookup was the key thing that was being tested under question number 25. So I'll read through and we tackle this particular question. So the question reads, owing to public outcry on the implementation of various projects across the country, the National Treasury of your country has provided data relating to project implementation in the past 4 years. The dataset comprises projects focus area, column A to B, then bank data on projects, column E to G, and projects detailed breakdown, column J onwards. An economic watchdog organization has approached you to help analyze the data for the purpose of making meaningful deliberations on the data provided. The data in the next Excel sheet labeled question 25 data. Note, the bank statement amount column shows the disbursement to the project IDs. So this is a note that you shall be looking at whenever you're dealing with disbursement. The key thing to consider is the project IDs required. Using relevant formulas or functions, fill the appropriate data in the blank column M, R, U, V, and W. So this is the first question, and it was a question for 5 marks. And then you calculate the number of power connectivity projects implemented. So here they need the number. Then the total amount of money disbursed by the National Treasury. Then the average budget of social service projects in Nanti County. Nanti County. And we have the others. We create the pivot summary and we extract the visuals. We shall come back to that. First we deal with number A, and I'll go to question number. So we had question number 5. 25, there's a question, and we had 25 data, the data that we have to use. Yeah, so this is the data. This is the data, and for the data we have what we call the projects, and we have the project focus. This is a summary of these. If it's a project that deals with the relief, it is classified as social service. Medical social service. Farm tools and implements is an agricultural extension. Power connectivity falls under infrastructure. Seeds and agricultural. Road and infrastructure. Affordable housing, infrastructure. Higher learning is education, and research still falls under the education. Then this is what we are telling the bank. Details, the project ID, the date, and the amount that were being disbursed. The amount that were being disbursed. Then you have the project ID, the date, and this column is supposed to be the date. Yeah, so this one is supposed to be the date. So they're showing the number. So I'll control shift down arrow to highlight everything. Yeah, so remember there are 6,367 entries. There are so many entries. So this one I'll convert it to short data, so that it can resemble this other one where we have been given the date in that particular format. Yeah, so those are the dates that we have been given. The project, so project focus is one of the missing value that we need to fix. Then we have an financial, the county, household impacted, then household impacted, the budget. The disbursed amount is another missing value that we shall need to calculate. The project cost, the administrative cost, disbursement balance. Then we have the project variance and the variance status, whether the variance is favorable or it is adverse. It is adverse. So we need to use a formulas or functions to feed M, R, U, V, and W. Yeah, those missing values for 5 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So each column is 1 mark. Fixing each column, and we have seen we have 6,300 and something entries. So here, when we want to feed the column M, remember project focus we have seen. So these are the projects like higher learning. It is classified under the education. Higher learning, education, seeds and fertilizer. This one is for agriculture. Higher learning is education. Relief food is for social. Farm tools is agriculture, and so on. So we need now to put these project focus, this one that we have here, so that they can match with what we have there. Yeah, so the project, they match with the project focus, and that's where the Vlookup comes in here. We shall apply the function or the formula of Vlookup. So Vlookup. So remember, Vlookup looks for the leftmost column on the table and then returns the value in the same row for column is specified by default. So I'll double click this, the Vlookup. So we need to look up value, the lookup value, and in our case, the lookup value is this column L. So you can put L2, and even you can decide to lock these because you need this particular column. There is no problem in locking, or even if you don't lock, partial lock, you can put partial lock on that. Then you put a comma. The next thing here, they need what? The table array. Where are we getting our values? Yeah, the values that we need to look at. Yeah, table array, we have the table at the beginning. We highlight this table. And that is our table array. Yeah, the table array that we have. And after that, we need the column index. Yeah, column index. And the column index that we need is this column, the project focus. Yeah, project focus is under column 2. Yeah, column 2. Again, you can either put 0 for exact match if you need exact match, or even without that, even when you put the bracket, still it will give you the amount, or it will give you what we require there. You can put the exact, or you just leave it that way, still it will give you the values that we require, and you enter, and you'll find that in that case higher learning, it has picked, it falls under the education. Higher learning falls under the education, and you will autofill, populate by double clicking this. Yeah, when you double click, it will populate all that information there. Remember, there are so many entries. There are 6,000 and something, and when you just pick, like the relief falls under the social, yeah, power connectivity under the infrastructure, seeds and agriculture, farm tools, agriculture, higher education, power connectivity, relief, all these, yeah, you'll find that it has picked the values, and that one earns you 1 mark. That one earns you 1 mark for fixing the project focus. We have used the Vlookup. So this column is what we need to fix, and we need from the table, the first table, column 2. Yeah, the project focus, so that it can look at that value and returns in the column that we need. The other one is a disbursed amount. Still, we use a Vlookup. Yeah, so Vlookup. I'll double click that. So the lookup value now here, we have been told to note that the disbursements are made based on the project ID. So the lookup value here is a project ID. Yeah, we shall look at the project ID. Again, I can do partial lock, only column J. I'll lock only column J so that it will pick from that column. And the table array. So the table array will come from these. This is where we are having the disbursement and disbursed amount. So I'll highlight this table, and I need to highlight the entire table. So to highlight the entire table, because we have a lot of entries, we may not be able to drag or to highlight with the mouse directly because there are too many, to take time. We just use Control Shift. Yeah, Control Shift after highlighting the first row, then down arrow, Control Shift, then down arrow, and it will highlight the entire thing. Remember, for this table we have 4,501 entries. Yeah, 4,501 entries. Then I'll put a comma, and in the column index we need the amount disbursed, and the amount disbursed in this case falls under column 3. Remember, this is a column 1, column 2, column 3. The amount disbursed falls under column 3, and you can put the exact match. If you are to have the exact match, you just put a 0, because 0 is the second one. Yeah, the exact match you normally use the 0, 1, no 0 for the exact match. And you close the bracket and you enter, and you'll find that for that first particular project, that is project ID 439, the amount that was disbursed was 24,125, and we'll autofill again that way, and you'll find that there are some projects that were not, there is no any amount that was disbursed, and that's why it is putting NA, not available. Yeah, so we don't have available data for those projects that were not disbursed, and because of this, when we shall be finding variance, this one will be giving us errors. So we need either to eliminate them or convert them to 0, because it's 0 amount that was disbursed. So this one, now we connect it, the Vlookup, to eliminate the not available element in this particular question. We shall connect the Vlookup with if error. So we shall connect this with if error, and for the if error at the end, we shall put a comma, and I'll open the quotes, and I need it to return 0. Yeah, I need it to return 0. Yeah, instead of not available, I need it to be 0. The place that it's not available, we have a 0 amount that was disbursed, or it can leave it blank. You can decide to leave it blank, but still blank, it will give you an error when you're dealing with variance. So it's better to have 0, because it's nothing that was disbursed that way. And again, we'll autofill in order to eliminate that. Yeah, so that the one that we don't have values, they're not available, they will be shown as zeros. They will be shown as zeros. So that's how that particular column for the amount disbursed was supposed to be done. Then the other one was the disbursement balance. So disbursement balance, we shall go with the budget. What was budgeted vis-a-vis what was disbursed. The budget vis-a-vis what was disbursed, in order to get the balance that we had. So we shall get the budget was this, and we have disbursed this. So the balance is that particular value. Yeah, that particular value is our balance, and I will double click that, and here you can highlight these and put this, eliminate the zeros even here. So shift down arrow, then this down arrow. So these two, shift down arrow. Yeah, that way. So those are the balances, the amount that were yet to be, the amount that were yet to be disbursed, the amount that were yet to be disbursed. So the next thing is a project variance, the project variance. So in this case, the project variance, remember this was the project cost. And apart from the project cost, we had administrative cost. Administrative cost that was supposed to be incurred. So the variance will be these two, the project cost, and you add the administrative cost, so that you get the total cost of the project. This is specifically the cost that was incurred on the project, and this was the cost that were incurred to manage that particular project, the administration of the project. So the variance will be what was budgeted vis-a-vis the actual amount that was used. Yeah, what was budgeted vis-a-vis the actual amount that was used in that particular project cost. So that one will give us the variance. So this one will be, I'll take the budget and I minus into bracket the project cost plus the administrative cost. Project cost minus administrative cost Like in this case, you'll find that we had a favorable, we had a favorable variance. I will down arrow, I'll format this, that way, and here I'll double click, that way. So you'll find some of them are positive, some of them are negative. So the negative one, they are the adverse variance, and the positive one, they are the favorable variance, where the amount that was spent was less than what was budgeted. The amount that was spent was less than what was budgeted, so that one gives us a favorable variance. It will give us a favorable variance. So in this case, the variance status now. So for the status, we shall use again a formula in order to fix. Remember, there are 6,000 and something. You may not be able to counter check one. So just put a formula, and we shall use the if function. So if, and our if is if what? These two, the project cost and administrative. If these plus these, the project cost plus admin is less than the budget. Is less than the budget. Here you put a comma, so this one will be favorable. You'll open the quotes, and it will be a favorable variance. Favorable. Otherwise, it will be unfavorable or adverse. The opposite. It will be adverse. If it is not favorable, it is adverse. So the project cost plus admin cost, if it is less than the budget, then it gives us a favorable variance. But if it is more than budget, then it becomes an adverse variance. And I will enter, and you'll find that for the first one, it is a favorable. And again, I'll double click to autofill. You'll find that for these two, the ones that are negative already, it is returning adverse. This other one, it is adverse. Where we have a negative, it will show you that that particular variance was adverse. So that's how that particular first part for 5 marks. Sometimes we can argue they were unfair. Each column, it had a lot of things to be done, but you just do one and you autofill, you get a mark. One you autofill, you get a mark. So that's how you are to fill the missing values in the first part of question number 25 to earn you the 5 marks. Number 2 of the question was you calculate in Roman 2. Calculate, number 1, the number of power connectivity project implemented. So these are the number, the number of power connectivity projects implemented. The number of power connectivity projects implemented. Again, that is 1 mark. So remember the projects. The projects are here. The projects. We need the ones that are for power connectivity. This one, power connectivity. How many are they? How many are they? So you can just shift down arrow to go to the last. You can have here number of power connectivity as our Roman 1 number of power connectivity, number of power connectivity, and I can format these to times, and the font is 12. That way. So we need here the number of power connectivity, and if you need the number, we need to use what we call the count. Count if. Here they were testing the formulas. Count if. So when you look at the count if, it counts the number of cells within a range that meets a given criteria. Count if. So the range is this one. Control Shift up arrow. So under this, that is our range, and our criteria, we need power connectivity. power connectivity, or even you can highlight instead of writing. So power connectivity, we have it here. Not okay, so power connectivity, will just write power connectivity. Yeah, power connectivity, and I will put quotes and I put the bracket and I will enter, and you'll find that there were 630 power connectivity. So the number of power connectivity, there were 630. Yeah, 630 power connectivity, 630 power connectivity. Then the other part, that was 2 Roman 1. Roman 2, total number of money disbursed by the National Treasury. Yeah, so total. So you can have here this one. I enter, so total money disbursed. Here I've said you use the times. Yeah, that way. Okay, so total amount of money disbursed by the National Treasury. Yeah, so in this case, we shall have what we call the alt equals. Alt equals, because we need this column. This is the total amount that was, okay, this is the amount that was really disbursed. I can use here, and I see, so that was the budget. So the next one was what was disbursed. Yeah, the total amount that was disbursed amount was the other column. Then, so if it was the other column, then just come here, and I can use the auto sum for that. Auto sum, yeah, and you'll get that this is the total amount that was disbursed. Yeah, the total amount that was disbursed, it was this value. You can have top and bottom border, and I bold that. Then this one I bold it, so that was the total amount, and still you can get it from this other end. So in this case, this one, yeah, so control shift down arrow. So when we are here, you can have alt equals, yeah, and this one gives you 178. It means there's some amount that is not captured. Yeah, because the total amount that was disbursed should be 178. 178. That is what is supposed to be disbursed, not 175. So meaning there's some amount that were disbursed to projects that were not there. So total amount of money disbursed by the national. So this one should not be this one. It's supposed to be this other money. Okay, so just trace that. We deal with this disbursement. The disbursement that came from national. It means there is some disbursement that were made to projects that are not indicated here. The projects that are not indicated here. So in this case, remember there were 4 something, so I may not be able. Yeah, I can just use this down arrow, and I need this value. Yeah, the 178. 178. So remember, 178 has a discrepancy in 175, meaning that there's some projects, money that were disbursed, but those particular projects were not included in this particular structure that we are having, they were not included. Yeah, some 3 million, yeah, some 3 million and something that were not included. Then the next one that we have, so here I need it to pick the times, font 12. And so the other question was, let me pick it here. So question number 3, the average budget of a social service project in Nandi. We need the average budget of a social service project in Nandi. Yeah, in Nandi. So in this case, we shall use what we call the average. So here we are having two criteria. We have the social service projects in Nandi, and remember these two are different categories. Nandi County is separate and social is separate, and the average budget. So here we shall use what we call the Averageifs. Averageifs with an S finds average arithmetic mean for cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. So Averageifs takes more than one condition. Yeah, it takes more than one condition. So it will first start with what we are calling the average range. And remember, these were it was average budget. These were our budget. So I'll use Control Shift up arrow to take the amount of the budget that we have that way. And after that, the first thing is criteria range. Yeah, average range, criteria range 1. So criteria range 1, we need the social service. Social services falls under the project focus. It falls under the project focus. So here, Control Shift down arrow, and you put a comma, and criteria 1 is a social service. You need it to be social service. Again, you put a comma, you go to criteria 2. Criteria 2 now is for the county. County, we have it here. Here, Control Shift up arrow for the county. Yeah, county. Then you put a comma, and the criteria 2, we need the one for Nandi County. Nandi County, that way, and I close the bracket. That is a Averageifs. So we are having three criteria. The first one, you're taking the budget. We need the average of the budget, and specifically for project focus under the social service, and specifically the average for Nandi County, only for Nandi County. That is what we need, and I put OK, and you'll find that that will be the average for Nandi County. Yeah, we had 1,499,940.51 as our average budget of the social projects in Nandi County. Then the next thing that we had been asked, so we are done with the first part for 8 marks. Yeah, for 8 marks. So they were somehow mean with the marks. And we go to part B. You create the pivot summary of the budget allocated per project. Yeah, budget allocated per project. So we shall go to pivot summary. I'll still create it under this. So pivot summary. So I'm supposed to create pivot summary. And this pivot summary, we are starting with the first one. The budget allocated per project. Budget allocated per project. So if we are to get that, it means that we have to highlight the entire thing. The entire thing that we have, the entire thing from here. From here, we'll highlight this. We'll highlight this up to that. Then Control Shift down arrow to highlight the entire table that we are having. That is our entire table that we are having. And I will insert the pivot table. pivot table in the existing worksheet, and our existing worksheet, I need the place, so I need it to be on this end here, the budgeted create pivot summary. I'll create it under that point and I'll put OK. Yeah, so create pivot summary of the budget allocated per project. So we need per project, so that means in our row we need the project and the budget. In our values we need the budget, so that is a summary of the budget per project. Yeah, create pivot summary. So this is a summary. We have the projects that we have, the summary, and then the sum of the budget. So we have farm tools and implements, higher learning, medical, power connectivity, relief, research, road construction, and seeds and fertilizers. So these were the key projects that we were having, and now the summary of that particular budget. Number 2, we had a summary of so remember these values, you can just highlight this to format this part using the times and font number 12. Yeah, that way. So that number 2 that we need, so the second one we need the amount. Yeah, the amount disbursed per project focus, the amount disbursed per project focus. So I'll highlight this, just copy this, come here and paste it. Yeah, come and paste the values the way they are. Yeah, that way. So when you click this, you'll find that, yeah, when I click this, still this one will appear. Yeah, it will appear. So I need the amount disbursed per project focus. So in this case now, I will have to use the project focus here, the project focus, and I don't need the budget, but the amount disbursed. Yeah, the amount disbursed amount, this one. Yeah, the disbursed amount. But here you'll find that it is counting, count of disbursed amount. We don't need the count, so the amount disbursed per project. So we need the sum. Yeah, we need the sum of the amount that was disbursed. So we need the amount. Yeah, the amount that was disbursed. So this one is counting. So I'll right click on this amount. Yeah, left click on it, and value field here. I have written value field. I'll click that. So you can see it is under count. I don't need the count, I need the sum, and I will put OK. So it will change that. So it will change that to sum of disbursed amount, and it is per project focus. You remember the project focus was only agriculture, education, infrastructure, and social. Yeah, so that is amount disbursed. And Roman 3, yeah, Roman 3 of it, yeah, the project cost. Project cost and administrative cost. Show the years and the months. Yeah, show the years and the months. So for this one again, I will paste. I can paste the original one that we had. This one. I can still copy this and come and paste it here. Yeah, paste it there. The sum that we had. So when I click this, so I need the project cost. Project cost and administration cost trend. Show years and months. So this one is a big one because we need to show the years and months. So just have the years. And even the years, we only have what we call the date. We'll eliminate this. So under this one, eliminate this and fix the date here. Yeah, so the dates. Yeah, for this one, it is checking. I think that one is okay. The dates 2021 up to that. Yeah, quarter dates, months. I think that one is okay. And the other thing is here, I'll eliminate the budget. I'll take the what we need the costs, project costs here, and administrative costs. Yeah, project cost and administrative cost, that way. So we've been told project cost and administrative cost. Trend show the years and months. Yeah, years and months. And here we have shown the years. So under these, you can have the quarters, under quarter 1 now, quarter 2, and quarter 3, and quarter 4. If you have to show it in months up to December, yeah, up to December, whereby you can decide to eliminate what the quarter. Yeah, you can decide to eliminate the quarter so that it shows directly the months. Let me see if I remove that. Yeah, that one is okay. When I remove that, now it will remain the years and the months. The years and the months. So here I just click that, and here I click this, and this other one I click this to expand, and the last one I click this. Yeah, that way. So that is how it was supposed to be done, to show the years. Yeah, showing years and months. So for 2020, 2021, and 2022, 23, and finally the 2024. So that's how that particular summary was supposed to be done. The summary was supposed to be done that way. Then the other part, so we are done with part B for the summaries. Number C, with the summaries in B above, create appropriate visualization with the following focus message. So number 1, the budget allocation per project. So here we need comparison. So you can use this space because we have this space. That was that. So here I'll put equal sign, and I'll pick this. And for the first one, I will pick this. Yeah, the budget allocated per project. So you need comparison. So this one, budget allocated. So if it is a comparison that we need, I'll just click this, and I'll come to pivot table. I need the pivot chart. Comparison normally use a bar. Yeah, if you're dealing with the comparison, just use the bar. Yeah, the bar chart. Yeah, just use the bar chart or the column chart. That is normally the best that deals with the comparison. Yeah, that deals with the comparison. That way. So this is our first chart that deals with the comparison. So the total, so budget allocated per project. So you have the project on the row axis, and then the sum of the budgets. Yeah, the sum of the budget we have there. So that was the first one. You have to deal with the comparison so that you can know which one was taking a lot of budget and so on. And the number 2 of it, you need this one, the amount disbursed per project item. So proportionality. Yeah, so proportionality, use a pie chart when they talk about the proportionality. Yeah, proportionality. So I'll click this pivot here. We shall take the pie. Take the pie chart. Pie chart is the one that shows the proportionality of items. And I can put the proportions, the data labels, so that you can be able to see the proportions that we had there. So the amount is disbursed per project focus item. So these are the proportions that we had in that. Normally when you go to insert and you look at these, insert pie chart, use this chart here, to show the proportions overall. Use it when the totals of your number is 100. When they talk about the proportionality, then here we want to use the pie chart. We have to use a pie chart. And number 3, the third one under question number 25, here, project cost and administrative cost trend showing years and months. So here they needed the trend for this one. For this one, so just go to pivot chart, And here we need to use not even a column. If we are dealing with the trend, we use the line. If we are using the trend, we use the line. So the line is one that shows the trend. The line is one that shows the trend. That way, yeah, the trend. So the trend will be shown using the line. Using the line, you'll find that it shows the years, months, and the date is not a month, but here 2020 January, May. So it's not, because it is a very big one. Yeah, it may not contain, unless you expand it fully, it may not be able to accommodate. You can see that. Unless now you expand it fully, that one is covering up to December, yeah, and up to May. I think that one is a complete chart. It's a complete chart in that case. Yeah, so that was how. So this one now was showing the trend, the movement of values, the way the values were moving. Yeah, the trend, the cost, and the project cost and the administrative cost. That is the trend for that, and that is how that particular question number 25 was supposed to be done. Question number 25 was supposed to be done. So it had a lot of things, and it was time consuming. You can see I've taken like more than 40 minutes. Yeah, so for a student it can take even more than an hour grasping all those concepts, but it's an easy concept when you get it. Yeah, and that's why I'm encouraging you to enroll with Elohim. Yeah, enroll with Elohim, and we learn these and many more. So September intake is ongoing. Kindly consider subscribing to this video and consider enrolling with us and learn with the best. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.